cleaned my car this morning, partially because I got rear-ended last night. Thankfully, it wasn't too damaging. But cleaned the car and trying to get it prepared for estimates and all those kinds of things. But before I got hit, before cleaning the car, really, I was like, man, I don't know. I like the car, but maybe I want to get something newer. Maybe I want to update. Maybe I want to upgrade. And I took the time this morning actually. Beautiful day, beautiful sunshine. I just cleaned the car. I went top to bottom, did a clean of it. Haven't done the interior yet, but I'll do that soon. And got done, and I stepped back and I looked at it and I went, man, that's a nice car. Man, that's really pretty. There's something that was just under all of that dirt that I needed to just bring out, right? The car itself hadn't changed, and nothing was changing in how it was driving or anything like that. But there was this moment where I realized that sometimes I think I do that with my Christian walk. I kind of am like, oh man, I need to make some sort of big, massive change. I need to replace everything. I need to move halfway around the world and choose something new and whatever. And it reminds me actually of a conversation I had with a friend many years ago. And I remember we were sitting across from each other. We hadn't met in many years, and she was just struggling with her faith. And she said, you know what, David, I think I want to go on a missions trip. I think I just need to do something radical in order to get myself out of this kind of lull or this rut that I am in my faith. And I told her, that might help, maybe, but it might just become a high and then it goes away. If I had turned around and bought a new car just because I was like, this one is not as nice, and I hadn't been maintaining it, and I hadn't been cleaning it and everything else, then sorry, we're gonna let this person in. Then in not that much longer, the new car would have had the same problem. If I wasn't gonna clean it, if I wasn't gonna maintain it, if I wasn't gonna do the things necessary to keep it beautiful and to keep it running properly, then I was gonna get sick of it too. And I think sometimes that it's the same way with our faith. Like, when we haven't been maintaining our faith, when we haven't been in the Word on a regular basis, and regular is daily, right? It doesn't have to be 10 chapters a day or whatever, though that's great if you want to do that. But we need to be in daily prayer and in daily Bible study. Jesus calls it our daily bread, right? Like, the idea is that we need to be daily imbibing of the things of God. Same as, like, we need to hunger and thirst for righteousness, to use the phrase from the Beatitudes. And hunger and thirst are not things that only occur every few days or few weeks or few months. And they only grow as we don't feed and we don't drink. It's the same for our spiritual life. If we don't do basic maintenance things in our spiritual life, we can't grow. And eventually, we're spiritually starving, and we wonder why we're snapping at people, and things are going wrong, and we're frustrated all the time, and we're just in this place of disconcerting discontent. Well, guess what? Maybe that's because you just haven't been eating. If you feel like you don't have energy, you're off balance, and you can't run or anything, like, maybe it's because you haven't been drinking anything. Have you been imbibing? Have you been washing in the water of the Word? Because if you haven't, that's probably why you're feeling stuck. And while some sort of big, massive change might help in the short term and might kickstart you in a new direction, unless you start building the habits of eating and drinking spiritually and taking part in communion and taking part in your church and all those really practical daily grace type things, you're just going to slowly decay. More and more dirt is going to cover you, and you're going to get more and more tired, and you're not going to know what to do, and you're going to think you need some crazy thing to change, but ultimately you really just need to do the basics. So we need to get back to basics, I think, with our Christian life and with our Christian faith. We need to really connect with people in ways that maybe we've forgotten. And we need to connect with the Lord more deeply and more consistently. Now, it's easy to say, I'm busy. And I'm always busy, and on and on and on. And there's a sense in which that's probably true. You probably have a lot on your plate. But you can relatively easily sit down and go, what do I have on my plate? And what needs to be there? And reprioritize those things. Guaranteed, some of them are not necessary. Some of them are necessary but not time sensitive. They can wait. And some of them are immediately necessary. And honestly, those are the things of God. So I'm rambling a little bit. I'm hoping you're enjoying some of the view around me. But just wanted to drop this note, this idea that sometimes we got to do some maintenance. And I wrote about this in my blog when I was talking about surfing. Most of life is paddling. And if you don't paddle well, you never get to the waves. So learn to love the paddle. Learn to love the basic stuff, the maintenance stuff. Because real growth, real success, both in normal life and in spiritual life, is about consistency more than it is about volume in a single hour. I can't make up for a daily devotional with an hour on the weekend. It's not the same. Just like I can't make up for not eating for a week with just a huge meal on the weekend. It's not good for your body. It causes all sorts of problems. So take some time and maybe, I'm not going to say smell the roses, that sounds awkward, but take some time and think about what is the best way to get involved. What is the best way to delve in on a consistent basis into the things of God? To eat and to drink and to be satisfied with Him. That's all I got for today.